perpendicular lines. In the previous lessons, we talked about parallel lines and their equation. And then we found out that, well, if they're parallel, then the slope is going to be the same. Now that's for parallel. Now we're talking about perpendicular. So if you think about parallel means they go in the same direction forever. The distance between these two lines never changes. Perpendicular is kind of almost the opposite, if you want to think about it that way. They're exactly crisscross apart. Now with perpendicular, it means that I have a 90-degree angle here. Maybe you're not sure what that means yet, but that's okay. And it's 90 degrees all the way around. That's what it means to be perpendicular. They're exactly a perfect cross or a perfect plus sign. Now, let me demonstrate something to you. So the thing is this, is that with the slope for parallel lines, it was exactly the same. The slope for perpendicular is going to be the complete flip around from each other. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm about to show you, okay? So let's call this line A, and let's go ahead and figure out what its equation is, okay? So again, remember the equation is y equals mx plus b, okay? So first things first, what's the easiest part of this line to identify? Hopefully you said the y-intercept. It's right there. So let's go ahead and put that in there. That is at 1, 2, 3, 4. It's at the 4th spot. So y equals something times x, and then plus 4 as my y-intercept. Now, let's go ahead and figure out what our slope is. Do you remember how to do that? The slope, you have to figure out, find another point along the line to the right where it crisscrosses. And I could say, oh, I see one right there. Okay, let's go from this point to this point, and let's figure out how much do I have to go up? Well, I go up 1 unit, and now I'm aligned. And then I have to move over 2 units, and now I'm hitting it. So my slope is 1 of 2, or half. And there it is. This is my equation for A. Now, let me use a different color, and we're going to do one for B. Okay? So let's go ahead, and we're going to figure out this one. And I'm calling this line B. I'm going to go ahead and erase everything else that was there so that we can start fresh. Okay? Now, first things first. B, I'm going to go ahead and write my slope over here. Well, let's put it down here. For B, I'm also going to have y equals m times x and then plus b. This is going to be for my line B. All right, here we go. First things first, what's the easiest part to find? Did you say the y-intercept? Yes. On B, line B, the y-intercept is the easiest part to find. It's right there. So what is that? Did you say plus 2? That's right. So in my equation, where the y-intercept equation or the y-intercept part would go, I want to put plus 2. Okay, good. The only thing I need is the slope. Now, watch what it's about to happen. This is interesting. Well, again, you want to move to the right, which means on this one, moving to the right means moving in this direction. So you want to find another point along this line, going this way. And I know you can go either way, but I'm trying to do the easiest possible. It'll be less confusing if you do go in this direction. And you can say, hey, I found another one right there. I'd say that's good. All right, let's figure out the rise and run. Now, you're not going to rise. You're going to have to go down in order to be aligned, right? How much do you have to go down? 1, 2. So you'd say I have to go down 2 units. That's my rise. And my run, go right 1. So I'd say, yes, that's exactly right. So what is your slope? You're going to say your slope is -2, 1. Now, look at this. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and I'm going to bring it down here a little bit. And I want to look at these two equations together. Okay? Now, I'm going to rewrite this just really quick. And I want to take away this, and I want to show you A and B. Okay? This one's A, and B down here, I'm going to put y equals, flip the slope. See what I said? Flip the slope and the sign times x, and then what was it? I think it was a plus 1. It was, a plus 2 was the y-intercept. Plus 2. So the thing about perpendicular lines is because they work in special, they're special. Look at the slopes. Remember with parallel slopes where I said, they're going to be the same? Well, these are going to be opposites. So if I have a slope for one line and it's 1 of 2, then the slope for my second line, if they're perpendicular, is going to be the opposite flipped. Opposite means opposite symbol, so from positive to negative, and it's going to flip the rise and run. And this is always going to happen with perpendicular lines.